Hey, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Welcome back to BIOC Action. This is your boy, Mr. Leon Hunt, better known as Mr. Ras Books, one time for the one time count, cool, count, quench. Welcome back to the show. Just like any other show, we got a very exciting show for you guys today because we got some brand new information. Like, a really good, like, of course, we got new information all the time, but this information is pretty unique because we got a champ that's on the line right now. And want to get you guys to get to know who she is. So introducing for this show today is Mrs. Michaela Smith, part of the Smith Cruise over there in St. Croix. Well, Michaela is in college now. Michaela doing big things in college, and I wanted her to get on the show because she just finished her conference and she doing big. You know, the girl doing a thing out there. So I wanted to get some an athlete's point of view of how her championship went and how she got there and the preparation going into the summer and all the other competitions that we got going on. So, Miss Smith.
Hello, Bookie and listeners. Thank you for having me here today.
Hey, welcome to the show. This is VIOC Action Virgin Island Olympic Committee in action. That's how we do the thing. And check. So welcome to the show. Like I was telling listeners out there, you are one of the I call it this the Smith crew, the Smith pack, because everybody
Yes.
part of Coach Smith crew. Hey, everybody do big things. Your brother last year he went to outdoor championship worlds, so that was a
hmm
good experience. Your younger sister, she went to something in Colombia or El Salvador or
El
something.
Salvador, yes, and she won the 1,000 meters.
You see there? And then so we got a whole bunch of champs just all across the place. So Coach Smith must be doing something over there good, you know what I mean? So big up to Coach Smith and his crew over there. But today's show is all about you. So who is Mrs. Michaela Smith?
Well, my name is Michaela Smith, pronounced, and I am a track athlete. I've been running since I was very young, like 3 years old. My mom will like put me on the treadmill and be like, "Okay, go ahead and run." And so I grew up in that atmosphere of runners as a family, as you said before.
Correct. Yeah, cause you probably didn't know this. So me and your dad actually went to the same university, Florida A&M. We're Rattlers.
Yes.
Cause we strike again. So that's my brother over there. So me and him always share some type of story about FAMU. But I know you didn't get to go to FAMU. So where are you? What's your university that you go to?
So right now I'm going to Austin Peay State University. It's a small D1 located in Tennessee. And it is a great atmosphere. I love my coaches and my people and my teammates who worked so hard to be able to win us this championship.
Right, cause that's the
So
wait.
that was
All right, so you're
amazing.
going so far. All right, so you are a sophomore over there. It's a small D1 school, and what's the pronunciation again?
Austin Peay. Oh, my name?
No, no, your school, Austin Peace University.
Yeah, Austin Peay State University.
Yeah, you know what? I never. What conference is that?
It's in the OVC conference, the Ohio Valley.
Oh, you see there, yeah. You know, a lot of those states, those schools that's inside the Ohio Valley,
Ohio.
that you hear about them, but you really don't hear about until they do something big, because
hmm
they just kind of all get smushed inside of the conference. But guess what? Since you did something big, I guess that's true because we hear about it now. So we got people here locally. You guys probably got a chance to go there and run with you too. So there it is. You might get some teammates coming in for you next year.
That would be amazing.
So, all right. So, sophomore in college, how was your freshman year transition from the territory, from the small country of the Virgin Islands, um, into Tennessee? Although it's a small city, you in the mainland and at a
hmm
university now, and of course, I'm sure that university is quite different from visiting UVI St. Croix. Um, so tell us, your experience and your transition coming from the territory going up there to the mainland.
So actually, I I moved to Tennessee in my 12th grade year of high school,
Mm-hmm.
and so there I started running and stuff, and I got recruited by Austin Peay, but I got injured in my senior year. So
Mm.
that process, the entire process was kind of tough, but like the coach believed in me and recruited me was Coach Molnar.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was already like kind of getting used to Tennessee, only like the cold and stuff, and the food was just like not the same as home. And like also I wasn't with my family because I lived with a family called the Becks. So like the whole transition was like everything was all new to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got recruited, I went straight to college from my high school in Tennessee, and that process all played out. And then towards sophomore year, transitioning from freshman to sophomore year, we lost our coach. We got a new coach, and so that whole thing was different because now this new coach had to like learn our style of running and be able to give us advice based on how we ran. So
That's
that whole
actually unique because I had similar situation when I got recruited my very first year to go to Virginia State, which is a small D2 school in Petersburg, Virginia. Is part of CIAA, which is actually it's a big conference. It's a HBCU conference in
mm-hmm,
up in Virginia, and my first year I was there. I got recruited from a coach, Coach Young. He was from St. Martin, so we kind of connected there and everything. First year was amazing. Everything was cool, and guess what? The next semester after we went to nationals that summer, whatever spring that was, he was like, "Yeah, hey Hunt, hey, I ain't gonna be here next year." I was like, "What? What you mean you ain't gonna be here, dude? You recruited me. We done all this great
right.
time, and you ain't gonna be here?" Yeah, and I understand no, being on this side as coach and everything or administrating. I understand it no, but as an athlete, I was like, dude, I feel double crossed. You know what I mean? Like, I will
Right.
believe in you because everything you were telling, but as an athlete, that's what happens. Like you get
You
traded
have
to
to
no,
be able to adapt to
you
change.
gotta be able to do that. So, I mean, it was cool, but I still felt like what I mean, like dang man, if I would have known, I'd have just went someplace else but I did appreciate the time, and that probably helped me become the great athlete that I was for those 12, 13 years, and
Hmm.
yeah, so I definitely understand how that was. But so transitioning, how was the transition? So when you got to the new coach, for him to pretty much learn you and the other 50 people.
How was the transition? Well, first of all, my coach now is a lady. Our
Okay.
head coach was our assistant coach, and then my distance coach was a whole new lady. That was our distance coach, which was Coach Valerie Brown and Coach Emily Woodward. And so like we're already like new Coach Brown, so it wasn't like a huge change. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
like a drastic change, only for the distance since we had a whole new authority for us. And it was kind of hard just because like the training style was a little bit different, and we got up to intensity much quicker and than we had before. And so like just getting used to her training styles and everything was a little tough, but like I feel like it went well in the long run for me.
Nah, I mean, I think you actually want to go through a little toughness, especially being young
Of course,
in
yeah.
university, because once you get through that, then everything else is gravy. And
Mhm.
then that even helps you because then you could become a bigger, stronger athlete. Then you able to help the ones behind you, so become a leader and of course captain. And then you lead leadership, which is pretty cool because you understand how it is, and the coaches don't really do it like they don't do it to haze you or anything. They do it so they could prepare you for those
Yeah.
challenges that you got to go through. So I think it's good, and I guess it turned out very well because we just had your conference. And what event do you do in university so everybody could know?
So I do the 800 meters, and during outdoor, I do 400-meter hurdles. I just started last year. Like the last, I did 3 races
Uh huh.
for the last outdoor season in the 400-meter hurdles, and I made it to the finals in in that last conference that we had outdoor. And so this year they're gonna probably train me from earlier to do the 400-meter hurdles
Mm-hmm.
and the 800, which is actually a very tough combo, seeing that like most of the time they're like right next to each other.
Yep.
And so, like last year conference, I did them. I made it to the finals in the 8, and I made it to the finals in the 400 hurdles. And so I did them like less than 20 minutes apart.
Okay,
So
so that I will listen, so the listeners can understand. So in track and field, usually have a weekend, 2 days, 1 day, whatever how much days it is, of competition, and each competition is timed. Whether if it's 30 minutes for one, what in track and field, something is always going on at the same time. So you got something on the track,
yes.
you got something in the infield, you might got something outfield, something else going on, and the athlete is allowed to do X amount of events per meet. So for instance, just like you said that you had the 800 meter, and then right after the 800 meter, maybe like you said 20 minutes. Some meets could be 30, depending how much time they have. It could even be
Mhm.
40 minutes. Big major meets sometimes it's almost an hour in between. Um, to where you got to do the next event. But you remember 800 is still like that's 2 laps around the track to come back at full speed because you want to either get back to finals or win the race, um, to do it again at full speed. So that takes a lot of
Mhm.
training and conditioning, so you able to come back and run the rounds. So that leads me to actually know in training. So now we're gonna ask you for some of your tips in training if you want to do multiple events, which most athletes do in track and field. What do you think the best type of training is, coming in from your experience, and I guess we could call your experience long mid distance?
Mid distance, yeah.
Yes.
So for mid distance, I would say that like you're gonna definitely need both. You're gonna need the distance aspect and you're gonna need the sprint aspect. So you're gonna have to do cross country because you're gonna have to get that base, and then during indoor season and when you're really starting to work on your mid distance, you're gonna have to learn how to do speed endurance. So like multiple reps at a fast pace. And
Mm-hmm.
so like so that's like the hard part because some people like sprinters like focus on sprinting and then distance focus on distance, but with distance you have to focus on both, and then you have to have some days where you do strictly speed, and then you're gonna have to get your base work in.
So let me ask you: did you know all of this before you went to university, or you kind of learned some of this stuff with the Smith pack?
Well, I did know this like back home. I would do mostly like straight mid distance and like speed endurance type of workouts.
Mm-hmm.
And I would do long distance, but not as much. And so like that was one of the reasons why I moved to the States, because I knew I had to have a better cross country season because I
Mm-hmm.
needed a better base for me to be able to go faster.
Look like, man, you sound like a coach all in your own, man. Like you get your cross country in because it prepare you for indoor track and field, and also the indoor prepare you for outdoors, and then which people don't understand, like track and field within itself is 3 seasons. Pretty
Yes.
much like it, and well, actually, it's 3 seasons plus if you part of a national team, that's the fourth
Yes.
season,
Then
which
you
is in
go through
summer,
the summer.
and then that's like a year. So people don't understand. Like sometimes, yeah, we run a lot, but dude, we'd be tired between by the time April, May, June, all them kind of months hit. You like, man, I just need some rest, and rest
Right.
is actually really good training because you get to recover, and your body love rest, and I guarantee, like people think that I got to just go out there and train like a racehorse, and nah, you ain't gonna be able to do that.
No, rest is a major key, very important.
It is, and I had to learn the hard way and the easy way. But once you understand how it works, you like, man, nah, I'm good. Like, coach, man, we don't need to do anything today, man. We gonna take an off day. We good, and we're gonna be all right.
Yes, and also taking care of your body is very important. I'm in the training room every day, and people think I'm just like being jokey and stuff and just like coming to talk to people. But no, I'm actually here to get my treatment and to make my body is good to go again.
See, so but look, so I'm excited even to hear all this information because I'm not the person telling somebody is like, look, you need to do this, you need to do this. You understand what it takes to get to the next level. Now, a lot of athletes now. All right, so in our region, we got the benefits of running for our national team as a youth.
Mm-hmm.
On the mainland, it's not so easy because they have thousands, millions of athletes, and they
Yeah.
usually have to go through so much tournaments and rankings before you even could put on. your country's jersey to go to a meet to represent the country. But here, or at least in our region, like we said, is of course the our population is less, and by that it gives us a kind of advantage because honestly, you got 50 people on the island that could run track and field. That's all your team right there anyway.
Right.
Rather than going to 50,000 athletes and be like, man, who I gonna pick you? And like in America, for Team
Uh-huh.
USA, ideally you pick is 50 states, so you pick the first one in each state. At least you start from there, and then you start going down the markers and stuff. So they got a little bit more frustration than we have. So but it's interesting to hear how you already understand like what it takes to get to the next level. Like you gotta take care of your body. You gotta go to the weight room. Yes, because you run mid distance and long. Yes, you still have to go to the weight room. You gotta take care of your body.
Yep.
Got strength. You gotta do speed endurance. You gotta do regular endurance. You might even have to do cross training, which I've learned during my sophomore transitioning into junior year. Cross training. Um, that way you don't actually run the same track and field all year round. You do the other sport, whatever it may be. So you use different muscles in your body and different mobilities, different angles, but you're still working on being in shape still. Uh, just all of that, and then here's the kicker. Because you're a student athlete, you gotta go to class. So tell me
Yes.
how do you um managing being a student athlete? 'Cause remember we're a student first, and
Yes,
then you're an
and then
athlete.
athlete.
All right.
So being a student athlete, that's a pretty difficult task. But right now my schedule is beautiful because I have 8 a.m. to 9, and then I have 9 to 10, and then I'm off for the rest of the day, and then I have online classes, and so I have no class on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So those
What?
Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's a great schedule. Thank you
Dude.
to my my athletic advisor, Katie. But so I pump out work on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I have practice like at 2 to 4, or sometimes, and then I have weights like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 to 6. So by the time I come home, I'm tired. So like I try to do my work in the earlier part of the day,
Mm-hmm.
so then I can knock out practice in the later part of the day. So
So
like
I
just
really
managing time.
I think you may have copied my schedule. Like like our same story sound very similar. So during my sophomore into junior year at Virginia State was the first time they had online classes. So I was like, online class, that means you don't have to go to class. And at this time, when you already went to nationals, you want to make sure you get more training hours in. Mind you,
Mhm.
this is still D2, but in my mindset, I'm thinking about worlds and championship, worlds and Olympics and stuff. So I'm trying to get more training days or time in. So I was like, my schedule was similar to yours. So I only had classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which is those are the hour and a half days. So by 9 to 12, I was between 9 and 12 was my classes, and then my online classes was scheduled for Fridays and Saturdays. Not that you have to be there, but those are the days that you have to submit your work. But you still had a
Yeah.
whole week to complete it. So I did two classes in, which is Tuesday, Thursday, and I did three classes online. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I didn't have class. So I did pretty much 2 days on those days, and then I did kind of just like a medium to light workout on Tuesday, Thursdays, and it was perfect. So they was like, dude, are you in school? I was like, yeah, and I would just do all my work kind of like we had the track meets on the Saturdays, so Sunday when you come back, I would do it on Sunday or on Monday because I didn't have anything else to do because it was just a perfect schedule. And I love online classes. I was like, dude, I could do that. It didn't even feel like I was in school yet. Check. I was
Yeah.
like, man, they done messed up, gave me some online classes for real.
Well,
And
once I
yes,
get online classes, it's over with.
that was it. You know what I mean? And man, the work was so. I mean, not that it wasn't challenging. Cause online class, don't get me wrong, you're not in class. You still gotta read all those chapters. You still gotta submit your work. You gotta do blackboard, all those things. Comment. Like it was a lot of stuff to do, but it made you because you like your flexibility. It made you do your work ahead of time. Cause you could do work ahead of time. your professor was always available. Like it was like the best thing ever. I don't know why. I mean, I know why, but it was just the best thing ever. And especially as a collegiate athlete at the time, when you had a lot of training time, you was like, yo, I'm actually doing good. So, and that's also PR during that time, at least for university because of the work that I was putting in. So yeah,
Mhm.
so I'm glad that you kind of experiencing similar experience. Although you're the D1, and we all know, as they say, Division 1 got harder work and everything than D3 and D2. And honestly, because I've been to a D2 to D1, I'm gonna say that not that the work is harder. I'm just saying it's a little bit more challenging. I don't think anything is hard. I just think it's more challenging, or they kind of just
Mhm.
be on you a little bit more. But it's also prestigious D3 schools or NAIA schools out there, or even community colleges that are the same thing. But that's just my experience, and that's just how it is. So yeah. So guess what? We're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we're gonna be back in BIOC action with my girl Michaela over there. Smith holding it down because she's the. Hey, we're gonna talk about your experience at conference when we come right back. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, welcome back to BIOC Action. We here sitting down with Michaela Smith talking about her journey, how she got to where she is today, how where she are today, to where she was. Cause guess a couple years ago, you probably didn't even realize you probably heard of some Smith girl out there. We didn't know which one it was because it's two of them, and we probably mixed up both of the two. And guess what? They actually look like twins. So now we're on the phone with the older Smith, and we pretty much hearing her experience and her journey as she go through university, um, and we hearing with her life today. So Miss Smith,
Yes, Bookie. What's up?
yes, man. I think I remember. Let me see if I can remember the first time that we was at a meet together. I think this may have been when you may was a freshman in high school. So we talking like 6 years ago.
Oof.
Um, or maybe you was in middle school, and I was like, "Yo, why you running so much?" Or like you running so much things or something. You have to have been like in eighth grade or ninth grade.
I feel like it was definitely middle school because we used to run everything.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, "Yo, Mrs. Smith, how this girl running all this stuff? Like she just leave one event to go to the next. She just ran cross country. Now she about to go run 100. Now she about to go run a 4x4. And then she gonna run 1,000. I was like, what? What is she running on? Like, what the world? That must be coming from y'all farm, man, for real. All right, so yes, guys, I think we ran at the same meet. It could have been maybe one of our national meets home, or maybe when you guys came to Florida, because I remember seeing Coach Smith in Florida, in Tampa, a couple times. Yeah, I think it was that Tampa meet. Um, it was like a last chance meet or something in Tampa, and
Yeah, we did compete in about like 3 years.
yeah,
Like
I remember because me and David was there. It's all good, but
it was
yeah,
the Big
so
Top Classics.
that's where it was. That's where it was.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
see, dang, time to fly, eh? All right. So the question that a lot of athletes may want to know, or they are going to experience, is being a national athlete for your country, right? So big time.
Mhm.
I mean, I understand. And being a collegiate athlete, it's a little different. It's a little animosity there because we all do experience it. But how do you, how do you, I should say, manage your training on having an extended training schedule comparing to the university schedule? Out, maybe shoots. You got to train an extra 2 months comparing to everybody else. So, in relating to that, being a national athlete, how has that helped you in university, or at least your goals in university? Because yeah, so how does being a national athlete help you become a better university, a better collegiate athlete?
I think it definitely does help because when you're a national athlete, like you go to represent your country, and so like you have like higher standards, and you know that like where you start is not where you stop. you know that you have to get better. You have to get more better if you want to compete in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I feel like when you treat it, definitely onto how you represent your school because you want to do great, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like when you're a national athlete, it just like it's like everything's exemplified because you have to make sure, like I said before, like your body, you have to actually like listen to your body. I feel like you listen to your body much because you know that your will be extended because once everybody in the collegiate realm is finished with their workouts, you're still working hard because you still have like your nationals. Like when you go home, you still have your nationals and you still have qualifications to make and you still have meets that you want to attend. So
That's true. So, okay. So, question: in at university, do you have different workouts than your teammates?
so right now, since we are season, have the same workouts, but I know that last year when everybody was finishing with their workouts, I was still going because I had the Virgin Islands Nationals to go home to, and I was training for summer games and stuff. So that was kind of different. Also, like last year, I went to the Youth Olympics in Argentina.
Yes, it
When
was
I
in
was,
Buenos Aires.
yeah, so I was coming off cross country season, so I really didn't have the 800 training, but like they were like separately, like the 2 weeks before
So,
for the summer, the Youth Olympics.
so by the way, guys, so if you guys didn't know, yes, this is Miss Smith. She went to the Youth Olympic. That was the first one. It was a success. Um, and it's a brand new whole event, but it's the Olympics for the youth athletes. At the time, I think youth. I don't remember the age limit, but what's the age limit? You can't be older than something.
You can be turning 19, so it was like 17, 18,
Right.
and
So
like it depends. Like for track and field, it'd be like I think 16, 17, and then 17, 18.
yeah. So guess what? You're still Olympian, and congrats. And you don't know this. So I've been doing a series from since the year started on our Olympians because this, of course, this is Tokyo 2020, and I wanted a chance to highlight our past Olympians to get their experience on being an Olympian. Like we read the articles in the paper, we see things on TV, but we don't hear it from the athlete. Like, look, I
Yeah,
was nervous. Matter of fact, we gonna get back to what we started with. But how was your experience at the Youth Olympics?
my experience was amazing. It was crazy. Like they had Olympic Village, and they had all the different athletes from all over the world in that one place. And so they were really like encouraging like growth, and like they were doing seminars on like being a great athlete and everything, and that learning aspect was great, and then the competition aspect was also great. But like see, that was my first 800 race of cross country, so I hadn't like raced it yet, so that was my first races of the season, and I seasoned best in the series and the finals, so that was an amazing experience as well.
That's true. Who was your other teammates that went?
So I went with Natalia Cooper, who was a swimmer. Um, and we also had two swimmers.
I,
It,
I think Sands there. Sands,
no.
he wasn't there.
Oh, we had a triathlete. So we had Natalia Cooper. We had
Mm-hmm.
another swimmer, and then we had a triathlete.
There it is. All right, sounds good. So we have four people representing us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how was the opening ceremony? Cause you know the opening ceremony for all Olympics usually is everybody. That's like, yeah, you get there, you fly and you see the village and everything. And all that is cool, but it's not as cool as you waiting in the tunnel for hours. This what people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So for the guys out for people, what you see on TV is after 4 hours or 3 hours of waiting time because they got to go through. So, and the time when they do all the opening, when they sing and they do all the speeches and everything, we're in the tunnel waiting to go by country, alphabetical order,
Yeah.
and the reason why, let me see, our initials is ISV, so we don't be in ISV. We be right behind, like we be like close to America. We don't be all the way up there, by So it's like, dang, okay, so we like literally all the way at the end. So you